afternoon. Welcome back to Fujitsu Forum TV, where we continue to bring you live and exclusive coverage of Media Day here ahead of Fujitsu Forum 2019, kicking off tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Central European time. We, of course, will be on air from 9 a.m. tomorrow morning across Facebook, Twitter and YouTube, bringing you extended coverage of events here at Fujitsu Forum. Now, guests, they get to see 4 keynotes. They get to participate in 60 interactive breakout sessions. There's the networking, there's expert talks with one-on-one subject matter experts from Fujitsu, their customers and partners, and then there's the digital transformation zone, which is exhibiting all the latest innovation and thinking from Fujitsu. But on Fujitsu Forum TV, fear not, if you can't be in Munich, we have you covered. By the time we come off air on Thursday evening, you would have seen all 4 keynotes live. You would have seen more than 40 live interviews from us, and from tomorrow morning, we will have the roaming cameras out and about in the Digital Transformation Centre, showing you the technology that's making a splash here this year. Now, another area that's making a big splash comes from the co-creation team. We were talking to Joe Box and Rudiger earlier, weren't we? Rudiger Frickenschmidt. They were briefing us on an event that they were doing straight after that interview segment. They had 90 customers coming together, some of which were rival businesses. Now, ask yourself this: would you work closely with your rival business, or are you too focused on defending your market share? If I tell you that there are rival businesses coming together for not just their own benefit, but the benefit of their customers as well, with me to tell more about this story, I'm delighted to say we're joined by Sander Rittersma, who's the owner and CEO of SJ Solutions. I love this whole frenemy mantra that's been spoken about today, but for the benefit of the viewers who may not have seen Joe and Rudy's segment earlier, just give us an overview as to what's happened today and how we're seeing all these rival businesses come together.
The co-creation session of today was mainly about earlier developed ideas from an earlier workshop we did in Lapland, of all places, which was great fun, but also a lot of work. And there's a lot of interest between friend-emies, as you call them, to work together. To work together to help the end users, because there's a realization that you can't do it all. So instead of being in each other's way, more and more companies, and this is driven by this co-creation process from Fujitsu, are realizing that working together can bring them much more.
Do you think that's as a result of just how big the IT landscape is now and how complex and fragmented it is? Have we got to a point where businesses, as you say, have just had to recognize, well, we can't do it all, we need help, and this is a great way to help not just us but our customers? Is that what we're seeing more of?
Yeah. I think you are seeing more of a segmentation. Everybody knows that we're specifically focusing on MSPs and XSPs and their markets. We have developed, for instance, from our company's expertise with regards to data management, storage, high availability. We've been doing this for 16 years now. So we like to call ourselves expert in this field. But, for instance, we talk to MSPs from all over Europe, and they have been focusing on co-location, security services, pay-per usage models, and together we can develop things, services, much quicker and benefit both from them as well as the end user. So this is a plus.
I'm interested to get your perspective, and I'm probably going to ask you an unfair question now, but
no.
of the people that were involved in the Lapland initiative back in the summer,
Yeah.
I was in the Fujitsu Bracknell offices over the summer speaking with Graham Bromham.
Yeah.
The week after, you had your get-together in Lapland, who was talking prominently about the impact. Between that session and the one today, have you had to cajole certain businesses to come together, or is everyone open-minded? Does it still need a bit of shepherding to get people to collaborate?
Well, reality is, of course, that if you're that close in that type of environment, focusing in a well-mastered workshop environment, that everybody gets enthusiastic. But the trick of the game is, of course, to keep it alive afterwards and to get some results out. And the session of today was actually about making that step forward. So one of the initiatives that was born there was, for instance, the Green Cloud Alliance, which is an initiative from Fujitsu, Commvault and SJ Solutions to provide a backup as a service towards our friend-emies, right? And we have had several teleconference calls with the members of this Lapland workshop forum to keep it alive and actually go to market. So the first one is already there, which is pretty great result considering that from the idea being born to where we are now, we're talking about 6 months. And in the workshop session today, there are already 3 other ones across Europe. And one of them even said, can we do it tomorrow? Because they have demand. So yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea. And Fujitsu being the common factor among all these frenemies, because it's not so much enemy, right? Is sort of the glue, because we all talk to these guys. So
What surprised you the most about the process? What's kind of stood out for you as something that surprised or shocked you?
well, the method they are using, which is a very intelligent combination of digital means and paper and human creativity. And that is they do it in a systematic way that forces you basically to create output. And this is what surprised me the most, that it is actually an effective means of getting to concrete objectives.
I should say, if anyone wants to challenge this philosophy, go back 2 years on the Fujitsu Global YouTube channel and you will find a video. We were interviewing Joe Box 2 years ago where he was talking to us about this human-centric design process, philosophies that are coming from Japan, aligned with some of the skill sets from the Western business. And he talks up the impact that he hopes that philosophy will have over the coming 2 years. It's clearly delivering, which is great to hear.
Joe is good in his work.
Going forward, what do you hope to solve problem-wise with your organisation, and how do you think the co-creation process can help solve some of those problems?
You mean what do we hope to fix? In this constellation.
I'm interested to see how it's ultimately going to impact your business and your customers, and whether there are common challenges within that circle that will be addressed through the co-creation process.
Okay, I get it. Well, what we are seeing in the market, at least what I'm seeing, and a couple of my colleagues, is that there is this move from, let's say, the mid-market and the underside of the market space towards the cloud. I mean, everybody is buzzing about it for years now.
Real phenomena, yeah.
Yeah, and some are going to Azure, some are going to AWS, some are going to Google, some are going to who knows. But the challenge is for the larger companies to make that move, or to have an alternative sometimes, because they need to keep their data within the country for legal reasons, or their preference to keep working with the company and services people that they have faith in, as opposed to just getting a browser that gives you options, so to speak, without the human touch. And the complexity that goes with this, for instance, for hospitals, banking, legal, this whole thing is making it much more easy for that type of business to have the possibility to move from on-prem to hybrid, and from there on to the cloud. So the reality for the bigger companies we see is that they are not making the move at once, but they are slowly adopting, going to hybrid and then going to cloud, and sometimes they even come back. So with this environment and co-creation, I really think that there's a value add for both the suppliers and the end users.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for
You're
your
welcome.
time. I tell you what, we're not done with the co-creation narrative just yet. We promised you earlier that we would get the roaming cameras out and about, and we said that we would show you the digital transformation centre that's been built here at Fujitsu Forum. Well, we're going to bring you that segment next. What time are we at? That's probably in about 19 minutes, top of the hour, 5 p.m. CET. We'll be back live with that. We thought it would only be fair to give viewers a bit of a sneak peek of a few things that perhaps attendees aren't going to get to see yet. So ahead of the doors opening tomorrow, we're going to put the cameras downstairs and we're going to show you the entrance and the walkthrough to the Digital Transformation Centre that guests arriving from over 80 countries tomorrow will see when they land here in Munich. I should say the co-creation process has really gone from strength to strength. I think tomorrow we've got more interviews coming up that's talking about the explosion around the globe. I certainly don't want to take anything away from the guys, but DTCs, Digital Transformation Centres, they've been popping up around the globe. This is big business for Fujitsu, and as you've just heard, there's good reason why people are paying attention to this. Stick around. We want to show you the DCCs. I think you'll like the roaming camera footage we've got coming your way in about 20 minutes. Plenty more to come from Fujitsu Forum.